2011 isn't even over yet, but all eyes are already on the race for 2012. Both political parties are dealing with one problem, the economy. On one side, the president and his plan to get the country working again. The commander-in-chief claims that he needs a bipartisan effort in Congress to create jobs. He's been stumping around the country telling lawmakers to pass his bill. It's a move GOP leaders are criticizing, saying now is not the time for campaigning. Add the Republican candidates vying for the president's job, and you've got a fight from all sides. So is working together a thing of the past? Christy Stetzer is a Democratic strategist and president of New Heights Communications. On the right, Kereakos, Zuras, former advisor to President George W.Bush and marketing strategist for big businesses around the country. And Kereakos, we want to start with you. The Senate today turned down the government funding measure. They're going to take it up again Monday. Are we seeing politics just being played again here?
Yeah, we are, because look, we've got spending problems here in the United States, right? And one side wants to spend, the other side wants to allocate money for the FEMA projects that we need for disaster relief. But we're asking for cuts somewhere else, not to just keep on spending. At the end of the day, is the government going to shut down? No, it's not. They're going to come to a solution. But it would be ideal if both sides could just come together and do something that's really for the good of everyone, and both sides stop playing, their politics to make each person's side happy, because that's not serving us. We're in a position right now we've never been before. This country is overspent more than ever in history, and we all need to get serious and stop playing games to really come up with solutions that's going to help the American people on both sides.
Christy, so why isn't it that lawmakers have not learned their lesson after the debt ceiling? I mean, we've been through this before.
You would think so, and it's even crazier than that, because they're fighting over a comparatively tiny amount of money. It's basically about $1.5 billion that we're talking about here. They're doing it for purely ideological reasons, and they know that this is the biggest reason why their approval ratings are nearing single digits, which is that Americans hate these sorts of petty partisan arguments that help no one and actually will hurt a lot of people if in fact we did ever get to a government shutdown.
Let's talk a little bit, too, about the president is out talking about the American Jobs Act. He was in Ohio, on the Ohio-Kentucky border yesterday, in enemy territory, talking about this. Talk to me about the kind of bipartisanship that, I guess you can call it bipartisanship, that we saw come out of that event? I
don't know. I don't really know what to think of that, to be honest with you. I think it was kind of a, the whole thing. My take on the whole what his jobs plan right now is he's dealing with infrastructure. Okay, infrastructure is good, but it's not immediate. It's long term. If we spend this money on these infrastructures, building the bridge, he's out there standing in front of the bridge, and there's 14.5 million people out of work. It's a good long term plan, but it's not an immediate plan. So that needs to be combined with other things like lowering the corporate tax rate, inviting foreign companies to come do business in America, letting up on tax rates for citizens and corporations. It's got to be a combination of both. But the infrastructure spending to me is long term. I don't find that's going to work.
The president invited Rand Paul and Congressman Yarmouth to come with him to that event. They did. They show up and then they get booed. Right. I mean, so this was obviously pretty much a campaign event for President Obama, but he's also trying to extend an olive branch. I mean, is this working for him?
This is smart politics for the president. Look, the Democratic base has been apoplectic with the president because they feel that he's gotten hammered from the other side for 2.5 years with an opposition that won't work with him on anything, whether it's major policy initiatives or just inconsequential, non-political, non-ideological battles like raising the debt ceiling. So they've been angling for him to take the fight back to his opposition for a long time now. That's exactly what he did here. He literally stood on a bridge that straddled Ohio, the home state of John Boehner, and Kentucky, the home state of Mitch McConnell, literally taking the fight to his opposition. And this could not have been, a better move for him with his Democratic base.
Kereakos, you're shaking your head.
I disagree. Look, I think look, this is all marketing, and President Obama does a great job of marketing and positioning and posturing himself. The bridge isn't the problem, okay? That's not going to put 14.5 million people back to work again, period. And it's a marketing game right now, and nothing has changed. We have overspent. We're spending $1.5 trillion more than we take in. We're asking for, he's now asking for additional $450 billion in spending. It just doesn't add up. It's not even about Republican or Democrat anymore. It's about the money. It's like I have $100 in this pocket, and I have $500 of the bills. I can't spend $1,000. It just doesn't add up. So, you know, making it look like he's trying to side up, that's just all for the TV. Nothing's changed. Let's cut the spending. Let's get Americans back to work. Let's do the things that we need to do. It's not just about who, you know, trying to get people work, because it's not real if it doesn't happen.
Is the fact that we're going to a campaign year, is that making things impossible to find any bipartisanship in Congress?
I don't think it has. I mean, just let's take a look at the jobs plan that the president proposed. And it's something that is almost entirely made up of initiatives that have been agreed on by Democrats and Republicans in the past. It's absolutely already paid for by future deficit reduction spending. This should be an easy thing for Republicans to agree to. So, I mean, the fact that they're not, the fact that even on this, I think says more about their willingness to go along with the president on anything than it does about their willingness, you know, to look out for the economy.
One thing we can all agree on probably is that people are fed up with
They are. We're running out of money. I mean,
all right.
We can call it whatever we want. We're running out of money.
Thanks. Christine Kereakos, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.